From ponds to profits, how Africa can turn fish into fortunes. Welcome to Ubuntu Global Connect UK Limited. Welcome to Ubuntu AI Money Academy. And this is your host, Kato Mukasa, in yet another educational show intended to empower you out of poverty. If you want to know the future, look at what you are feeding your children today. That is an African proverb my mother used to say. Today, we dive deep into the waters of opportunity, which is fish farming. Across the world, this business is feeding billions and generating fortunes. Sadly, in Africa, where water and land are abundant, we still lag behind. The question is, why should Africa import fish when we have lakes, rivers, and oceans at our doorsteps? Why do we import fish? It's annoying to say that Africans still import fish. Shame to you. Shame upon you. Why should we be importing fish in Africa? Shame on us, Africans. Shame on us, Africans, for importing tinned fish when we have lakes, rivers, and oceans at our doorsteps. Moreover, fresh lakes, fresh rivers, and oceans with life. What is the global picture? How big is fish farming? The global aquaculture industry, which is fish farming, is valued at over $300 billion annually. Fish farming now produces over 56% of all fish consumed globally, outpacing wild capture fisheries. In Africa, aquaculture contributes less than 3% of global production. Shame. Yet we have 65% of the world's uncultivated herb water bodies. Shame on Africa. This means Africa is sitting on a gold mine in water. We are poor because we are poor. Because we don't take opportunities that are right before us. Fish farming in Africa is a missed opportunity. How? Africa imports over $5 billion worth of fish annually, mostly from Europe and Asia. Shame on us. Africa imports over $5 billion worth of fish annually from Europe and Asia. Shame on Africa. Tilapia, catfish, and Nile perch are the most popular farmed species. Average African farmer sells a kilo of fish at between $2 to $3, while the same fish sells in Europe for between 8 to 12 per kilo. I'll repeat, African farmed tilapia may fetch between $2,000 to $500 locally in Africa. But the same ton of fish earns in Europe over $12,000 in supermarkets. I'll repeat this. A poor African involved in tilapia sells it at $2,500 a ton. But the same ton earns European supermarkets $12,000. It means an African is losing over $9,000 per ton. Africa loses billions every year by exporting raw fish and importing finished products like fillets, fish oil, and fish feed. What's wrong with an African trader? As an African, I speak this because it is shameful. It is painful to see ourselves losing money to European markets. It is shameful that African traders continue to donate over $10,000 in wealth per ton selling tilapia alone. We sell raw materials and we make others richer. We give jobs away. Then you cry of poverty and unemployment in Africa. Yet, fish farming is a good business. What do you need to start fish farming? You need land or a water body of about 1 acre. And this can host between 2 to 4 fish ponds. You can see those fish ponds right there. The cost of a pond construction is between $800 to $1,500 per pond. And this depends on whether it is concrete, plastic, or earthen. It means that if it's for plastic, it's going to be much expensive. If it's for earthen, it's going to be actually less expensive. You need fingerlings or baby fish. And you need about 1,000 pieces, which is going to cost you between $50 to $100. Cheap. You need 1,000 pieces of fingerlings, baby fish, and we are going to spend a maximum of $100 to start a fish farming business. You need fish feed. The biggest cost you can spend is $1,000 per cycle in fish feed for your 1 pond, where you put 1,000 pieces of baby fish. Of course, there are other costs like nets, pumps, water testing kits, labor for the experts, and those guys helping you at the farm. Yes, those are costs, but not much. In brief, how much capital do you need to do fish farming on 1 acre? You need a maximum of $4,000. But between $2,000 and $4,000, you can start fish farming. Even between $2,000. That's about 8 million shillings in Uganda. You can start fish farming. And you'll be successful. What is the cost-benefit analysis here? 1 pound of fish, which has 1,000 fingerlings, can produce 700 to 800 mature fish in 6 to 8 months. If you put 1,000 fingerlings or baby fish in one pond, you are likely to get between 700 to 800 mature fish in between 6 to 8 months. The average weight per fish is between a half to 1 kilogram. The market price for fish is between $2 to $3 per kilogram in Africa. The income from one pond can be between 1,500 to 2,000 per cycle. Now, when you have 4 fish ponds, you can generate between $6,000 to $8,000 annually. And when you scale up with more ponds, it means you are going to get more money. Let me tell you, there are wise, smart entrepreneurs in Africa making good money out of fish farming. If you have 4 ponds, you are earning $8,000 annually. Not many people working in these so-called white-collar jobs earn this money. But we are going to earn that money right in fish farming. Now, why do you keep your land idle? I always ask this question. Why do you keep your land idle? Why do you keep relying on growing maize and beans when you can do fish farming? Why are you poor? Because you make poor decisions. What are the best practices for profitable fish farming? I'm going to give you best practices to do profitable fish farming. Select the right species: tilapia, catfish, Nile perch, depending on your region where you are. Tilapia, catfish, Nile perch, depending on your region. Construct ponds with good drainage and reliable water supply. Stock only healthy fingerlings from certified hatcheries. Feed fish with nutritious, balanced feed. Therefore, avoid cheap, low-quality feed because it's going to kill your fish. Monitor water quality, pH, oxygen levels, temperature. Always monitor your water quality, pH, oxygen levels, temperature, etc. Harvest your fish at the right time. Don't be too early and don't be too late. You are going to lose if you are too early. You are going to lose if you are too late. Therefore, have experts to advise you. Avoid overstocking ponds. Don't put too much fish fingerlings in one pond because this can cause diseases and poor growth. Give them space. Let's talk about pests, diseases, and control. Be aware of predators like birds, snakes, frogs. Therefore, use nets and barriers to stop snakes coming in, to stop birds eating your fish, to stop frogs. How about diseases? There are bacterial infections, there are parasites. You can prevent them with clean water and regular monitoring. Be a guy on the ground. Do not do fish farming on the phone. You must be on the ground. Boots on the ground. Feed theft and cheating is rampant. Therefore, avoid middlemen because they mostly exploit farmers by underpricing fish. They are going to cheat you. Therefore, organize into cooperatives to sell directly to markets and avoid exploitation. Organize yourselves into a cooperative and sell as a team, as a group of fish farmers. What are products from fish? Fish farming doesn't end with fresh fish. You can make fillets, which is processed fish meat. You can have smoked or dried fish, which is high on demand in urban areas and in the diaspora. You can make fish oil. Yes, you can make fish oil, such as the cosmetics. Cosmetics can be made from there, nutraceuticals, and others. Fish meal, animal feed for poultry and pigs. Fish can become the animal feed for poultry and pigs. Nothing goes to waste. Then fish leather. Fish can give you leather, by the way, to make shoes and bags in Asia and Europe. Yeah, they make shoes and bags out of fish leather. If you have fillets, smoked fish and dry fish, you are making fish oil, fish meal, fish leather. Each of these adds 2 to 10 times more value compared to selling your raw fish. My message: do not sell raw fish. There are success stories in Africa. In Kenya, the government's fish cage farming project in Lake Victoria has created thousands of jobs and boosted incomes. In Nigeria, now Africa's largest producer of farmed catfish, worth over 1 billion annually. Farmers like Akin Sanyolu have scaled catfish businesses into exports. In Uganda, tilapia farming in Lake Victoria is expanding, with companies like Source of the Nile Fish Farm exporting directly to Europe. What is the lesson we learn here? With proper investment and training, African fish farmers can compete globally and make Africa proud. Let's talk about job opportunities. If Africa invested properly in aquaculture, Africa would create 10 million jobs in farming, processing, logistics, and export. 10 million jobs can be created in fish farming, processing, logistics, and export. Yet we don't have jobs in Africa. Our sisters, our brothers, our mothers, our fathers are into slavery in Europe, in Arabia, in Asia, in America. Modern day slavery. Leaving jobs back home in Africa. Jobs that can be created in industries, in agriculture, and in aquaculture. Call it fish farming. We could reduce fish imports and save $5 billion annually. We could feed our growing populations affordably and reduce malnutrition. Why should we be seeing videos of malnourished children in Africa? Yet we have the best soils in the world, the best water, fresh water in the world, most productive, energetic young people in the world. And yet we say there are no opportunities. My grandfather used to say, the child who is not fed by his mother will be fed by strangers. Therefore, why should we depend on foreign fish when we can produce our own fish in Africa? Africans, why should we depend on foreign fish when we can produce our own fish in Africa? This show is sponsored by Ubuntu AI Money Academy, brought to you by Ubuntu Global Connect UK Limited, and this is Kato Mukasa, a tech teacher. Today, let me share with you AI and digital tools for fish farmers. Remember, the future of fish farming is data-driven. Therefore, I'm going to recommend AI water quality sensors that alerts farmers when oxygen or pH levels drop. You should get AI water quality sensors. Contact us to help you get them. You can get drones which monitor large fish farms for theft, predators, and pond conditions. Contact us. We help you get the best drones from Europe that can help you monitor large fish farms for theft, predators, and pond conditions. You can also have AI pricing apps. The apps that can help you get real-time market prices to avoid being cheated. You can also have farm management apps. Farm management apps that are going to help you track stocking, feeding schedules, and harvest predictions. I'm going to give you an AI prompt for farmers in the fish sector. If you're into fish farming, this AI prompt is for you. Put it in ChatGPT and put the results in the comment section. Here is the prompt. You are a fish farming expert. Create a 12-month fish farming plan for 5 ponds in Uganda, including stocking, feeding schedule, water management, harvesting, cost in USD, and expected profits. Let us look at the Africa versus Europe, the profit gap. Africa exports fresh tilapia and catfish at $2 per kilo. European supermarkets sell African fish fillets at between $10 to $12 per kilo. It means African traders lose $10 per kilo. That is 4 to 5 times more profit to European markets. All lost because Africa exports raw fish instead of processed products. Africa, start processing your products. If Africa processed just 50% of its fish locally, we could add $10 billion to our economies. $10 billion would be added to African economies if only Africa processed just 50% of its fish locally. Here is my food for thought. Why should we eat imported frozen fish while our rivers and lakes remain underutilized? Why should Europe earn more from African fish than African fishermen themselves? Why should youth sit unemployed while fish ponds nearby remain empty? Why should African youth go to Arabia, Europe, and America to become slaves when they can do fish farming back home in Africa? My mother used to say in a proverb, and I quote, "When the water rises, the fish eat the ants. When the water falls, the ants eat the fish." Today, Africans are the ants, but tomorrow we can be the fish. This is my call to action. My brothers and sisters, comrades, colleagues, all over the world, the time for excuses is over. Ubuntu does not encourage laziness, procrastination, and failure. Stop your excuses. Start small with 1 pound. Grow step by step. Use AI and technology to maximize profits. Process fish locally and keep wealth in Africa. Organize in groups to access bigger markets. Join us at the Ubuntu AI Academy, where we equip farmers and entrepreneurs with AI tools, financial models, and global strategies to turn fish into fortunes. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to Ubuntu Global Connect YouTube channel for more shows that transform knowledge into wealth. This is Kato Mukasa for Ubuntu Global Connect UK Limited. Thank you for watching this show. Please share it to take the message forward. Remember, the wealth that is not in your net will feed another fisherman. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next show.